What if one of the most luxurious foods on Earth came not from a five-star kitchen, but from the sea, and looked like a golden treasure in your hands? This is the world of mullet roe, often called ocean gold. It's rich, rare, and revered across cultures from the sun-drenched coasts of Italy to the refined palates of Japan. But behind its salty sweet flavor and umami-packed punch lies a process of precision, patience, and tradition. In this video, we'll take you inside the centuries-old art of producing mullet roe, also known as bodega, karasumi, and poutargue, to show you how raw eggs from an ordinary fish become one of the most sought-after delicacies in global cuisine. But before we dive into the sea, here's a quick favor. If you're passionate about food craftsmanship, rare ingredients, or behind-the-scenes stories of how gourmet products are made, give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. It really helps us bring you more hidden food stories from around the world. Ready to witness how this golden delicacy is made, step by step from sea to plate? Let's begin the journey into the world of ocean gold. Mullet roe, known in various parts of the world as botarga, karasumi, poutargue, or avgotarajo, is the salted, cured egg sac of the gray mullet, a fish found in warm coastal waters. Though the names vary, the essence is the same. A gourmet delicacy made by drying and preserving whole roe sacs to concentrate flavor, texture, and aroma into something truly extraordinary. Unlike loose caviar or spreadable roe, mullet roe is left intact in its natural sac. The process begins by gently removing these sacs from mature female mullets, then salting, pressing, and drying them over several weeks or months. The result is a firm, amber-colored slab that can be sliced thin or grated over dishes like pasta, risotto, warm bread, or sushi. It's deeply savory, slightly briny, and rich with umami, a taste both ancient and unforgettable. Each region has its own variation. In Italy, especially Sardinia, it's called botarga and shaved over seafood pasta. In Japan, karasumi is more delicately aged and often served in thin slices alongside sake. In Greece and Tunisia, it's coated in beeswax to preserve freshness. Despite their differences, they all share one trait. They elevate simple dishes into something luxurious. What makes mullet roe so special isn't just the flavor. It's the craftsmanship behind it. Every stage, from catching the fish to drying the roe, must be done with care and respect for tradition. This isn't just food, it's an edible piece of cultural history. The story of mullet roe stretches back thousands of years. Its origins trace to the ancient Phoenicians and Egyptians, who were among the first to discover the value of preserving fish roe using salt and sun. From the Mediterranean basin, the tradition spread east and west, becoming a culinary gem in Italy, Greece, Japan, Taiwan, North Africa, and beyond. In Sardinia, botarga has been made for centuries in coastal villages like Cabras, where mullet are harvested from lagoons and their roe turned into a protected regional delicacy. In Japan, the art of producing karasumi is so refined that it's served only at high-end restaurants, often alongside premium sake. In Taiwan, mullet roe production spikes during the winter season, coinciding with the annual mullet migration. What ties all these cultures together is not just the product, but the respect for the process. Each region has its own secrets, methods of drying, types of salt, ideal climate conditions that have been passed down through generations. Despite its humble origin as a byproduct of fishing, mullet roe has evolved into a global symbol of culinary tradition and coastal craftsmanship. Today, it's more than a food, it's a heritage product, one that bridges continents, economies, and cuisines with a single golden bite. The journey of mullet roe begins not in the kitchen, but out at sea, during a very specific time of year. Female gray mullet produce mature roe sacs only once annually, typically between late autumn and early winter, as they begin their spawning migration. This window is critical. Catching the fish too early results in underdeveloped roe, while catching them too late can compromise texture and flavor. Fishermen rely on generations of knowledge to know exactly when and where to cast their nets. In many traditional communities, set net fishing is the preferred method. These large, stationary nets are positioned in strategic coastal locations, especially near lagoons or migration routes. The nets guide the mullet into gradually smaller chambers, minimizing stress and damage, a key factor in preserving the integrity of the roe sacks. Once the fish are caught, only the females are selected. Farmers and processors examine each mullet for physical signs of ripeness, such as a slightly swollen belly or golden hue along the flank. Gentle handling is crucial. Even the slightest damage to the roe sac membrane can lower its market value or disqualify it entirely. In modern facilities, mullet are often held in temperature-controlled tanks or lagoons before harvesting, allowing for more precise timing and quality control. But whether the process is traditional or high-tech, the goal remains the same. Capture the roe at its peak, when it's rich, full, and ready to be transformed into ocean gold. Once the mullet are selected, the most delicate and crucial phase begins: the extraction of the roe sacs. Unlike industrial fish processing, this step is a careful, almost surgical task. The roe sacs, still intact inside the female mullet, must be removed without tearing or bruising the thin membrane that holds the thousands of tiny eggs together. A single tear can compromise the entire sac, making it unsuitable for curing. Highly skilled workers, often referred to as artisans, use sharp, sterilized knives and decades of experience to cut open the fish with precision. The roe sac is gently lifted out in one motion, its shape preserved and its surface examined for consistency, fullness, and firmness. Top-quality roe sacs should be symmetrical, golden pink in color, and free from blemishes or blood vessels. In traditional workshops in Italy or Japan, this process is often done by hand in small batches. In modern processing plants, the same care is applied, just with added hygiene controls, temperature regulation, and processing speed. Regardless of the scale, the goal is the same: to protect the integrity of the product from the very beginning. Once removed, the RO sacs are immediately rinsed in cold water to remove any residual blood or tissue. Some producers use a light saltwater rinse to begin the preservation process early. After washing, the sacs are laid out and prepared for the next phase: salting and pressing. From this point on, every movement and every step is about enhancing flavor and protecting quality. Salting is where the transformation of raw roe into gourmet delicacy truly begins. This stage is more than preservation. It's the foundation for flavor development, texture, and shelf life. As soon as the roe sacs are cleaned, they are laid out and coated in a generous layer of sea salt, which draws out moisture and begins the curing process. The amount and duration of salting vary by region and tradition. In Sardinia, roe is salted for several days, then rinsed and resalted in cycles to achieve the perfect balance between firmness and salinity. In Taiwan or Japan, the process is often shorter, but followed by longer drying phases. The key is consistency. Too little salt and the roe may spoil. Too much and it becomes overly rigid and sharp in taste. Once properly salted, the roe sacs move to the pressing phase, which gives them their distinctive flat shape and further removes excess water. Traditionally, roe sacs are layered between wooden boards or stone slabs, with gradual pressure applied over several days. This slow, steady compression shapes the roe, eliminates air pockets, and improves its slicing quality later on. Modern producers may use mechanical presses with precision controls, but the principle remains the same. Press slowly, avoid crushing, and retain natural structure. Some artisans even adjust pressure daily based on texture and moisture levels. This combination of salt and press is where Botarga or Karasumi begins to develop its signature qualities: dense texture, deep amber color, and rich, savory taste. It's also where tradition meets judgment, because no machine can truly replace the expert eye and hand that decides when the roe is just right. After salting and pressing, the roe enters its most transformative phase, drying and aging. This is where it truly becomes ocean gold. During this stage, moisture slowly evaporates from the roe sac, concentrating the flavor and firming the texture. Timing, airflow, temperature, and even sunlight all play a role in creating the final product. In Japan, karasumi is often sun-dried on woven mats or hanging racks for several weeks. The RO sacs are turned multiple times each day to ensure even drying. Direct sunlight gives the roe its iconic golden sheen and slightly toasty edge, while coastal air adds natural salinity. However, the process is carefully monitored. Too much sun can cause cracking or overly dry spots. In other regions, especially where climate control is available, roe is dried in humidity and temperature-regulated rooms, often at around 15 to 18 degrees Celsius, 59 to 64 degrees Fahrenheit, with 60 to 70% humidity. This more controlled approach helps preserve uniformity, especially for export-grade products. Some producers even age the RO in special drying cabinets for up to 2 months, allowing complex flavors to develop slowly. As it dries, the roe becomes firmer, darker, and more aromatic. A properly dried roe sack should be slightly waxy on the outside, dense to the touch, and richly fragrant, evoking both the sea and a hint of cured meat. The outer layer becomes a natural seal, locking in flavor. The drying and aging stage is where technique meets patience. Rushing this phase ruins texture, prolonging it too much flattens flavor. At this point, the oro is no longer just preserved, it's elevated. It now carries the full character of its origin, craftsmanship, and the passage of time. Once the mullet roe is dried to perfection, it moves into the final stage, packaging and preservation. This step is not only about protecting the product, it's about presenting it as the luxury item it has become. Traditionally, in regions like Greece and Tunisia, dried roe is dipped in beeswax to seal in freshness. The wax coating protects it from oxidation and moisture while giving it a rustic, artisanal appearance. In more commercial settings, especially for international export, botarga is vacuum sealed in plastic or foil-lined pouches, sometimes with an oxygen absorber inside to extend shelf life. Premium producers also offer roe in glass jars, wooden boxes, or designer tins, emphasizing its status as a gourmet delicacy. Some are sliced, some whole, others are grated and jarred for convenience. Regardless of the format, what matters most is maintaining the flavor, texture, and shelf stability of the roe until it reaches the customer. Beyond its rich taste, mullet roe is also a nutritional powerhouse. It's high in omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA, known to support brain and heart health. It also contains a significant amount of vitamin B12, iron, and protein. And because it's cured without artificial additives, it remains a clean, concentrated source of marine nutrients. Each package of mullet roe carries more than flavor. It holds months of craft, days of drying, and centuries of tradition. Sealed and labeled, it's ready to begin its next life in kitchens around the world. What truly sets mullet roe apart is its flavor profile, rich, briny, and bursting with umami. When properly cured and aged, it delivers an intense, salty sweet depth that chefs and gourmets compare to aged cheese or cured ham, but with a distinctly oceanic essence. Its texture ranges from firm and waxy when whole, to creamy and silky when shaved thin or grated, making it an incredibly versatile ingredient in both traditional and modern kitchens. In Italy, particularly in Sardinia and Sicily, botarga is most famously shaved over spaghetti aglio e olio, where it melts into the olive oil and garlic, creating a luxurious, sea-infused sauce. It's also used in risotto, salads, or simply sliced over warm bread with a drizzle of lemon. In Japan, karasumi is usually served in thin slices alongside sake, often slightly toasted to enhance its aroma. It's a common delicacy during New Year celebrations, symbolizing good fortune and prosperity. Taiwanese cuisine incorporates mullet roe into rice dishes or serves it pan-fried with daikon radish and garlic shoots. In Greece and North Africa, botarga is sometimes grated over couscous or eaten raw in ultra-thin slices, drizzled with olive oil. Even in modern fine dining, chefs use mullet roe to create foams, emulsions, and flavor infusions, pairing it with everything from shellfish to creamy sauces and even eggs. Its culinary power lies in its concentration. A little goes a long way. Whether it's adding a briny kick to pasta or serving as the star on a tasting plate, mullet roe elevates any dish it touches. Across continents and cuisines, this once humble fish egg has become a universal expression of flavor, tradition, and luxury, all in one bite. Mullet roe isn't just a delicacy, it's a thriving global market and a living piece of cultural heritage. In regions like Sardinia, Mauritania, Japan, and Taiwan, the production and sale of botarga or karasumi support entire fishing communities. For many, this seasonal craft is a primary source of income and a proud family tradition passed down for generations. Top-grade mullet roe can command premium prices, often reaching 200 to 300 euros per kilogram in European markets, and even more in high-end restaurants worldwide. Its value is driven not only by taste but also by labor-intensive production, limited availability, and strict quality standards. Many regions protect their methods through geographic indication, GY status, ensuring authenticity and preserving local knowledge. In this way, mullet roe isn't just food, it's a cultural symbol, a source of economic resilience and proof that ancient techniques still have a powerful place in the modern world. From ocean to plate, the journey of mullet roe is one of tradition, craftsmanship, and transformation. What begins as a humble fish egg ends as a delicacy revered across continents, a golden treasure of flavor and culture. Whether it's botarga on Italian pasta, karasumi beside a glass of sake, or a hand-pressed slab wrapped in beeswax, each piece tells a story of heritage, patience, and respect for the sea. More than just a luxury food, mullet roe represents a connection between past and present, nature and craft, local fishermen and global cuisine. It's a reminder that the world's finest ingredients often come not from factories, but from hands, time, and tradition. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into the world of ocean gold, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. There's a whole world of hidden food stories out there, and we're just getting started. Thanks for watching.